December the 7th they bombed.
But you got there December 1st, and they bombed the 7th?
No.
No, when did you get there?
They got there December. My outfit I went in.
Yeah, your outfit.
The 4th Battalion.
Uh-huh.
They've been organized on the East Coast, and they went to Cuba.
Right.
Because we had a naval base there. We still do have a Gitmo, you call it. We still got the base there.
Yeah.
At least for 100 years. But they had just come up through the Panama Canal and got there on the 7th. They were forming defense battalions. What they do was they put them on ungodly islands. Mm-hmm. The first was on the Wake. The Japanese hit it December the 8th, and it lasted on the 23rd.
Right.
And it had fallen by the 23rd. But they put up a pretty good battle. They sank 2 Jap destroyers. Mm-hmm. But and then they were. First was on Wake. The 3rd was on Midway, and they got bombed later on in '42. But we were there for about 2, maybe 3 weeks, and we loaded up and went down into the South Pacific Hebrides, which is just below the Solomons.
Is that the island that you went to? That was...
It's 3 or 4 little islands.
Yeah.
And we were there probably, I don't know how long we were there, but we'd been there about 2 months, and our whole battalion had malaria.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sicker than a dog for a week. I believe we got 2 quinine 3 times a day for a week. It knocked it out.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, every joint in your body hurt.
Yeah.
Sick.
Is that when you were, you had to go get the medical treatment? And
well, they put you in the hospital.
Yeah.
Well, so-called hospital.
Right there.
Make sure you got your quinine. It's knocked it out. Our whole battalion was decimated. But we were out below the Solomons, probably 300 miles. Mm-hmm. And like I say, we were to defend the island. They brought an army out there. And they had a big air base. They would fly from there. Sometimes they could try to fly. They landed on our. See, they invaded Guadalcanal August the 7th, in '42. They had a lot of Japanese on the island, but they were all engineers, naval battalions.
Okay.
And they were building a runway. They had no combat troops there at all.
Yeah.
And of course, then they started bringing in combat troops. They'd bring them in at night or whenever they could.
Yeah.
That was one of them. That and the Battle of Midway, which was in June of '42. That's when they sank 4 Japanese carriers. They thought they were invincible. They were coming. They had infantry. They were going to take Midway.
Yeah.
But if they'd have got Midway, then they'd have got Hawaii. We'd really be in deep doom then.
Yeah.
But they beat them off there. That was 2 of the main turning points of the war.
Yeah.
But it took, that island wasn't secured till February in '42. It took that long to secure the island.
Yeah. Is that the island that you were talking about when they described it to you? You wondered why they wanted to take the island?
Yeah, we thought that about all of them.
Describe how they described the island to you.
They were beautiful to look at. They were a moving ship. Beautiful island to look at.
Yeah.
When you got on it, it was horrible. I can't remember all the time that went on that ship. Like on the Hebrides, like I say, we all had malaria. In the meantime, we went to New Zealand. We had old outdated equipment and got new equipment and come back up to the canal. But that was the turning point. But it took 6. They didn't secure it until February the 6th or the 7th in '43 when it was secured.
Yeah.
It took 6 months, and Japs kept bringing in. They didn't want to give it up.
Yeah.
But see, they had it. The funny thing was, it wasn't funny, but it is now. They didn't have any combat troops, but they kept bringing them in night and day and night.
Yeah.
Once we got our superiority, then we could beat them off, you know. And it took 6 months to do that.
Yeah.
But they caught them with their pants down at the Battle of Midway. They was going to invade Midway, so they had all the planes out. And they had broken the Japanese code, the Navy intelligence had. And they knew they were coming, but they didn't know exactly where they were going to be. And they had these PBYs, flying boats, big, long wings. They'd just fly around, you know, and they spotted them. So they called in. We lost one carrier there, the Yorktown. Yeah, Yorktown is sunk there. We lost 3 carriers. But I'll get into that one. But like I say, it took 6 months to secure it. And then we started using that as operations going on up farther. But those islands, remember, wet. You have flies in the daytime and mosquitoes at night.
Miserable.
And it's kind of a standing joke that 2 mosquitoes landed on the guy's bunk. He said, one of them said to the other one, "Are we going to eat him here or take him back to camp?" He said, "Well, we better eat him here because if we take him back to camp, the big ones will take him away from him." So that was, and then, like I said, we went down to New Zealand. That was good duty. Oh, God. Steak and eggs down there.
In New Zealand was good duty?
Yeah, good duty. See, the Japs wanted, if we had to stop them in the Solomons, they'd have had Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
They were headed for it.
Yeah.
That's where they turned them around. And they built a strip there, and so we got the strip free of charge. They bombed it and shelled it all the time, but they'd patch it right up. The Seabees would.
Yeah.
And Marine engineers, they kept that runway in good shape. And they had a guy up in the northern Solomons. They stretched for 400 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's up to there, probably 30, 40 miles. And they wanted that island, like I say, to take Australia and New Zealand. But they stopped them there in the Battle of Midway, sank the Yorktown there, and another ship. And then later on, in the Eastern Solomons, we lost 2 more carriers. Lost the Wasp and the Hornet. They rebuilt the Hornet. Earlier, we lost the Saratoga, not the Saratoga. I can't remember the name of that carrier in the Battle of the Coral Sea. That was in April. Not just a little ways west of us.
Yeah.
We'd have been up a creek without a paddle if they'd have come in. We can have fought them off for maybe a couple, 3 days, but that'd have been.
Yeah.
But we went back up the canal, and we were there for a couple of weeks, and we started loading up. We was going to go up, and northern Solomons, like I say, they stretch for 400 miles, and we loaded up. It had Washing Machine Charlie, they call it, a Japanese float plane. They'd come around at night, and it sounded like an old diesel truck, Model P Ford. And they'd fly around just to keep you, nuisance rigs, to keep you awake.
Yeah.
So you're going to be busy during the day, they keep you awake at night. So
Yeah.
that was ours. But pretty soon they got rid of those guys.
Yeah.
And we, in fact, the night we were getting ready to go aboard ship, we were all, our battalion was there, and Washing Machine Charlie come in. He flew around for an hour or 2, and then come back and he dropped some flares. They were on a parachute. They dropped these flares and they'd light up everything down below.
Oh,
He didn't have
seriously?
nothing left to drop on us.
Yeah. Just
So-
trying to keep you awake. Anything
Yeah, just
to
to keep you awake.
Yeah.
So we went aboard ship. I went aboard the LCI, Landing Craft Infantry. And the rest of it we put aboard. We had 2 or 3 LCIs. And about 3 or 4 LSTs, landing ship tanks. They were pretty big flat bottom ships.
Yeah.
And they'd run them up on the beach and they'd drop the door down and then they could unload everything. And we got in up there just about daylight, little later than daylight. And we just run up on the ship on the shore,
Right.
LSTs and the LCIs. I was on the LCI, and just going down the gangplank, all hell broke loose. Guns were firing on the aircraft. Japanese were bombing us.
Oh, wow.
They dropped one and right in LST, dropped a bomb right in the foot, right on the front of it.
Right.
Took one guy's whole left side of his face off.
Ooh.
They rebuilt it. You
Put
could
him back
see-
together?
You could see a car on him, but he survived it. I
Wow.
used to see him at the reunions.
Yeah.
And then we sailed. We left out of there at night, I believe, and sailed all night and all day. And got in up there about 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we're just unloading. That's when they hit us again. Had several casualties. I don't know how many. But the LSTs were there. I had a couple more raids. And our gun got off. We had a little pit dug down and maybe a couple of feet. Set the gun in it. It was on a 20 caliber anti-aircraft machine gun. And the next morning, after we got off and everything, and they looked up in the north. I think it was north. I'm not sure. No, it was south. And they had a bunch of Jap planes, looked like a string of hornets. Must have been 30 or 40 of them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our guys, they had what they call coast watchers way up in the northern side. And they'd have to fly over them when they were coming down the canal. And he'd call in and say, he'd call Honolulu, he'd say, 40 planes your way.
Oh, wow.
They'd call Guadalcanal and tell them, and the guys would go up and wait for them.
Yeah.
And then when they get in there, then they just shot down tons and tons of Japanese.
Yeah.
I've seen them coming down and they'd be double like
Wow.
solid massive planes. It wasn't like our planes. They had no armor plating on them. They had no self-sealing gas tanks.
Oh, wow.
You could knock them down with a 30 caliber.
Yeah. So they just come falling out of the sky, big ball of flame.
But that morning, I remember seeing several of them went down in flames. And one of them he was getting down pretty close to us. You could see it. He was a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
He got close enough and we was firing on him. Anyway, we don't know if we hit him or who did it, but he went down.
Yeah.
He was trying to hit a wharf, the sea beach that put a wharf out there and unload them.
Right.
But he didn't make it. He missed the wharf.
Yeah.
20 feet of water, 40 feet of water.
Wow.
But then they told us that they were going to Seabees, the 58th Battalion. Seabees is construction battalion, is what it meant, but it was Navy.
Yeah.
They were going to build this runway a little further up the island. So they told us, well, you guys are going to be here on the dock. The ships are going to come in. They were third day to unload supplies and stuff. And we hope you make it.
Oh, geez.
Because that's right where they're going to bomb on the ships.
Yeah.
They don't care about you. They want the ships.
Right.
And, of course, we had to unload our own ships. And every
Right.
gun crew had to send one guy into work. I'd always volunteer because I get on the ship, I could pilfer something. Maybe a case of peaches or a case of coffee or anything you
Get
could
something
pilfer.
good
You
for it,
pilfer.
yeah.
Make good thieves out of us. One time, I don't think I wasn't on this. I didn't go that day. But the guy, he come by the gun, and it was kind of a mud hole there, and he threw off this one. It looked like Planters peanuts.
Right.
We thought we had a whole case of Planters peanuts.
Right.
We opened the plastic case up, and it's full of cigarettes.
Oh.
50 cigarettes in a can. Chelsea
Yeah.
cigarettes. We opened up a can and set it on the gun, side
Yeah.
the gun. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
But we did get a few peaches and a little coffee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were there, and then the CBs went on up, and they started clearing off a place for the runaway, probably 100 yards, 200 yards wide by over a mile long, roughly.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that. And so we were there to protect the ships when they would come in.
Yeah.
And we lost 2 or 3 guys. And then when they got enough of the strip pit, we'd move out on it.
Yeah.
We had several casualties there. But anyway, we never got hit. But we went out there, and they were still working on the strip. You want to go say hi to her?
No, I want to finish.
And we took, it was like a ship,
Yeah.
like an aircraft carrier. And we put probably 200 yards apart would be, we had a 20 millimeter, 20 millimeter,
Right.
and a 40, and then some 50s. I don't know how many we had on. But poor 120, we had the smallest level. They were about 150 yards down from us, and then we was here, and then 40. Of course, if they come in, they were after the strip, the Chelsea.
Yeah. But they were trying to destroy it.
Yeah. And one day, after they got the strip built, and they still wasn't done with it, there was a P-40 come in,
Right.
a P-39, Bel Air Cobra they called it, and he buzzed the strip. That means to clear. When
Okay.
they buzz the strip, that means get everything off.
Right.
He circled around, and his belly tank wouldn't drop, so he couldn't go into combat with the belly tank.
Okay.
Probably had 100-gallon of gas in it or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of gas.
Yeah.
So he come in and he set that plane down and it burst into flames.
Oh.
And he slid right down the middle of that runway.
Yeah.
He got right behind our gun about 50 yards and stopped.
Right.
And it was solid. He called out on the wing and jumped off.
Holy cow. So he
was
survived.
lucky.
Wow.
But
So when
then-
that was coming at you, that you're watching this big flaming
Yeah, it
plane
was- well,
sliding on the runway at
like
you?
we were here and the plane was over here.
Yeah.
50 yards.
Oh my gosh.
Come down and it stopped right behind our gun.
Yeah.
So we had to stay in the hole. We had probably about 3 feet
Yeah.
deep. And then we put our quarters in there. We slept in the hole.
Yeah.
4-man gun crew.
Wow.
And it sat there and the bombs, the ammunition exploded. We had to stay down under the water.
So you stayed down there while the whole thing's still flaming and
While it was burning.
the ammunition's going off and
all was left was the tips of the wings and the tail.
oh my gosh.
Completely out.
And yet you were what, like 50 yards from it?
Yeah. Probably.
Holy
We had
cow.
to get dunked down, hope nothing hit us.
Yeah.
And
And nobody got hurt in that incident? Wow.
pilot got out, everything. But poor 120, we were 220, was down 150 yards from us. And one day SPD died, no, a torpedo plane come in.
Yeah.
TBF they call it.
Yeah.
And they would fly up north and bomb the Japanese further north up in Bougainville around. And this is after we got it in operation.
Right.
And the Navy headquarters and the hospital is across the strip up there,
Yeah.
up in the hill, kind of in the hill, in the trees. And this TBF came in, they had a 3-man crew on it. had the pilot and the gunner and the radio man. Well, they'd been on a raid and the bomb wouldn't drop.
Oh.
So they opened the bomb bay and the bomb fell out on the ground.
Uh-huh.
But supposedly it's got arm itself.
Right.
It's an army. I don't know if it was a hit and then it's whatever.
Right.
So the crew took off and they called Acorn 13, which is when it took care of arming the planes and everything. And they sent a crew down, 2 guys, 2 or 3. And then curiosity killed cat.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knew what it was, and
Right.
they ganged around to watch them
Oh
disarm the bomb.
no.
Well, the guy was sitting straddle the bomb with a hammer, and it went off.
Oh my gosh.
It blew the torso up probably 50 yards from our gun. There was no head, no arms, no legs.
Oh my gosh.
And killed 16 guys
That were around watching.
watching. Looky-loos. Killed 16 of them.
Yeah.
Burned up 2 fuel trucks. And 2 or 3 airplanes.
Yeah. So the guy that was straddling it, what he was thinking was going to disarm it.
He was going to disarm it.
He was a specialist, but it didn't go so well.
He didn't make it.
Yeah. Wow.
And then again, we had a raid later on. Like I say, 120 was jinxed from the start. But later on, they'd get out of there early in the morning. It was still dark.
Right.
You could light the runway just a little while. And these 2 planes, they could take off simultaneously.
Right.
One of them got crossways on the runway. How the hell he did it?
Yeah.
He was taking off. Well, he flew into 120. Flew combo. Killed him and the pilot.
Oh boy.
And it didn't explode. The plane didn't explode. It was a fighter.
Yeah.
And of course, the captain there, Cap Ross, come down there after they were land. He couldn't leave to go down there.
Yeah.
He come. First thing he said, did it hurt the gun?
Yeah.
Wasn't worried about the pilot and the guy.
The
that
equipment.
got killed. Welcher was his name.
Oh man.
Oh, every time I'd see him, I wanted to kick him in the shin.
Yeah.
But anyway, they cleared that all out. But that was 2. And another time, no, the cook, they were on 24 and off 24.
Yeah.
The cook came down, he knew the guys in the gun crew.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on the side of the gun crew,
Uh-huh.
sitting facing them. He didn't go to look, but a street shrapnel took top of his head off.
Oh, so he didn't make it.
Just be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Never know.
Jeez.
Chaps could have dropped a bomb and done as much damage as they did.
Yeah.
But other times, I guess the big wigs would come in. I like being on the strip because everything happened on the strip.
So the action
Ours were
was.
strung out. We were all over the island
Yeah.
for low flying. We wasn't no good for high flying bombers.
Yeah.
Low flying planes. And I forgot my train of thought.
You're down on the strip where all the action was.
Yeah, and I guess after that happened, I guess they thought we were getting a little spooky being on the strip, losing so many guys and everything.
Yeah.
And they transferred us out what they call the point, about
Right.
a mile out there. And they brought that gun crew there in and put them in our gun crew. We liked it on the strip because the plane come in, we might talk to somebody and find out what the war was doing. What was
Right,
going
get an
on.
update.
Otherwise, we didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
It was good. And they got there, you could sleep. The waves would put you to sleep. Crash
Yeah.
you in the toilet. We had got a coconut log and stretched across. That was the 12th.
Yeah.
In the water. And we ate twice a day.
Yeah.
About 9 in the morning and about 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
My granddaughter said, well, Grandpa, you know what, Tammy? So why don't you go to McDonald's? Poor kid, they didn't know about all that.
They didn't understand that, yeah.
I'll have to get back to you later on, too. But,
Yeah.
we were out there on a point. And we spent the rest of the time till we were relieved there. I don't know what time it was.
Yeah.
Then we went into headquarters. And in there, you train, you get to our duty, and you train. And you train. You learn to throw hand grenades. You do that. Our chances of throwing hand grenades was nil, probably.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got to training. But now to get back to one day, there was looked like a bigwigs probably come in to invest to check the post, you know, to see how operations went up. Headquarters is right across from us on the strip, 200 yards east of
Okay.
us. And they come in there, and it was like a Beechcraft, twin-engine Beechcraft. And they were taking off down the runway, and they got about a mile out over, half a mile over the ocean, and out in the direction.
Oh, really? Do they know why?
Nobody knew. Motors just quit.
Wow.
Nobody got out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one, though. Well, we were on the strip, not the strip, when we were still on the beach.
Right.
We had phone. All the guns were connected up to them. Your phone would ring, you'd pick it up, say, 220. Aye, aye. They'd give you orders.
Yeah.
Condition red or condition black or whatever. Condition black, you never want to hear that. Got me an invasion forces.
Oh, okay.
But they called up, and I was on the phone. They said, 220, aye, aye. There is no friendly aircraft in the area. So that means no fighter plane.
Right.
Well, about 10 minutes later, 2 planes come in from the inside of the island and flew right over us.
Right.
Everybody opened up on them,
Yeah.
shot them down.
Right.
Our own damn plane.
It was, oh my gosh.
But they didn't, the pilots went out over Coolaguff
Yeah.
and bailed out.
So
Come
they
back
got,
and said, good shooting, guys. I had to come back and kick some ass for the been me.
yeah.
But it's just one of those friendly fire.
Yeah. Wow. But
me-
that's because they weren't expecting their own team to be coming
Yeah,
back
well,
because
they
they were
said-
told
Well, they called up and said there's no friendly aircraft, so you figure if one comes over, he's a
it's
job.
not good. Yeah.
But we could see the goddamn stars on the wings. They
Right.
were stars. They didn't have a big red meatball on them.
Right.
But anyway, that's one of the things. Oh, and down, I had to get back to the beach again. The Raiders had just gone through there a day or two before we landed. They were a tough bunch, that guy. And there was about a half a dozen dead bodies on the beach, just probably 20 yards from our gun.
Yeah.
Well, you got to get rid of them.
Yeah.
They blowed up that quick. Flies are all on the maggots.
Right. Probably stench,
So we
the smell.
couldn't dig a hole.
Yeah.
We wouldn't anyway. It's work. So we piled them up as much as we could and cremated them.
Yeah.
Got some fuel off one of the truckers who let us have some fuel. Because you have to get rid of them and there's nowhere you put them.
Right.
I told Sammy we barbecued.
Yeah.
So that was hard. Well, that's all you can do.
Yeah. You're not really a choice then, huh?
And another pilfer job we did. I don't know how we got the coffee. We had a great big can of coffee about this big around, probably 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And we had some peach can pears that we filled for. We were good thieves.
Yeah.
And we cut the can on the top all the way around and made a pot out of it.
Uh-huh.
About an hour of a sun, we built a little fire about that big around on some rocks.
Right.
We got 4 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do if you're on the equator, 5 degrees below the equator? It's either wet or it's either rain or it's hotter than hell.
Right.
So what are you going to do? 4 guys with 5 gallons of water. You're going to drink it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'd save a gallon back to make coffee that night.
Yeah.
And two of the guys, one of them was off to Yorktown and got sunk in the Battle of Memphis. Sailor, he was a chief. He'd come down and his buddy would come down with him. We'd sit around and shoot the bull.
Yeah.
But he'd have us sit there and drink coffee, lie to each other. It was all right.
Tell good stories.
Yeah, sea story. Yeah, often. He was on the Yorktown, one of them, the chief was, so it was.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Look, the Battle of Guadalcanal, Eastern Solomon. We lost the Yorktown in the Battle of Midway. We lost the Hornet and the Wasp in the Battle of Guadalcanal, so we only had 2 carriers left. 2.
Yeah.
And one of them, there was the Enterprise and the Saratoga. We had 6 carriers when the war broke out.
Wow. Down to 2.
We get down low nubbins. Well, people don't realize how close we come to losing that.
Yeah, that's scary.
But that guy would radio down and 40 planes coming your way.
Yeah.
It's 400 miles, so you got plenty of time.
Yeah, get ready.
Your fighters up, get them way up high, nobody knows they're there.
Yeah.
When they come in, of course they're coming in to torpedo ships.
Right.
They sank one ship, the troop transport, but the guys had all got off of it.
Uh-huh.
And a plane flew into the hole. Sank the ship. Elliot.
So the kamikaze style.
He was hit, so he just took the ship with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, kamikaze. Elliot, he was a troop transport. The guys that got off, but all their gear was still on the ship.
Yeah.
Probably lost them, whatever they had.
Yeah.
But we got relieved, when it was,